I am super excited today. So I have she's basically like an OG to FarmFit Training. She's been in the Plank Challenge from May of 2020 to going through the John Deere program. So I'm really excited to have Bridgette Readel with me here today. So first and foremost, Bridgette, we just got done talking about how you're representing the brand, and I'm not.
I'm here to help.
Going already. So Bridgette and I go way back. I would love for you just to kind of share a little bit about your history, about who you are, Bridgette. I want everybody that watches these, especially these video testimonials, to get to know you. So if you could start back from like even the Plank Challenge. I think that's when you
Sure.
first heard about FarmFit Training, right?
Right. Because I was a little bit new to Instagram and was catching on to all of these things that were going on. One of them was the plank challenge. And the at the time, I had really just started getting back into doing a lot more walking, but I knew I needed to do more to be stronger. And the plank challenge was an awesome introductory way to get into that because it was something I could do no matter what time of the day, wherever I was, and it didn't take a long time. And you asked us to record ourselves doing it. So every once in a while we would, like, it was in the month of May. So Cinco de Mayo, I had a bottle of tequila by me, like, here's my Cinco de Mayo, I'll plank and then celebrate. But it made it a lot more fun and interactive. And then you would share that with other people, and they all got into the challenge of it. And that just kept expanding. And the challenges that we do in FarmFit Training continue to build on one another. So as you mentioned, I've been part of the John Deere program. So everybody should keep their war barrel handy.
Love it.
Because I love mine. It travels with me, like not on an airplane, but it can ride in the back of my pickup and go places. And that means I don't miss out on doing my workouts at any point in time when I want to during my day.
Yeah, that thing is so versatile. I'm not going to lie. That was by far my favorite program to put together. I just love how it takes one piece of equipment and you can do the whole entire 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we're about, is you don't need a lot of equipment to be successful. And sometimes in a fitness journey, everybody thinks it has to be an all or nothing. So let me ask you this. What was one of the leading facts from going from the planking challenge to why you applied to one-on-one coaching? Let's start there.
Well, for me, it was all about transition and timing. When I first started with you, I was working full time in the ag chem business. I was a manufacturer, regional agronomist, and was doing a lot of on the road. I could get walks in. Like, I remember bringing my shorts and running shoes with me so that I could change in my pickup and go use a high school track in the middle of summer when nobody was there and I could walk. But then I realized I needed to do more than just that. So I wanted to start using some more weights, and I don't like doing the same thing every day. So it was really important to me that your app showed me all the different things I could do that kept my attention span going. I'm probably an undiagnosed ADHD, which would explain why I'm really bad at retirement and went from one job to now like a radio network ag director to
Host.
yeah, small business owner, all the above. And I do all those things because I want to do different things every day. And that's what FarmFit Training does for me as well, is it helps give me something different to do every day. There are challenges that are involved, like the John Deere challenge. We're back to a plank challenge right now. There are moves that I hate. If I never saw another burpee in my life, God bless, I'd be thrilled. And I knew that I wasn't ever going to be doing bodybuilding, etc., but I just wanted to be strong. And for a long time, I'm probably, I don't know if I'm one of your older clients, maybe I'm middle of the road because I'm 50.
And not the oldest. There's
Yeah.
men and women that are older than you, but yeah. Yeah.
You get to a point in your life where it's not so much about, I can't wait to lose weight, as I just want to still maintain what I do. And I really want to be flexible and not be just laying on the couch because I can't do that. I don't want to be that person.
And we talked about that recently. I was actually on your radio show with you,
Uh-huh.
W Day, which, by the way, if you guys haven't checked that our episode, it was freaking fun. They let me run the beautiful screen with all the sounds on it.
Yep. So we are WDAY 970 AM. And that was one
Yep.
of the things you and I talked about a lot, was
Yeah.
how this program is flexible for so many people.
Yeah, and how it fits into your life. Just like you said, like you came in it, where you were like, hey, like strong or being skinny is not what I'm chasing after. I'm chasing after strength. I'm chasing after being
Mhm.
mobile, being able to continue to live the life that I live and not have setbacks where I get injuries or something like that. And that says a lot about a fitness journey. Is so many times people join it because they're like, I need to get skinny, or they have that type of goal. Where with us, we do it a lot different. We more approach it as a sustainability, but more like, hey, strong is the new way, because then you're going to age graceful. You're going to be able to keep up. You're not going to be that 80-year-old in a wheelchair when you hit the nursing home. You're going to be the one doing push-ups and pull-ups and going. So I would love for you to kind of explain, like you already talked about, like, hey, the workouts are great and stuff like that, but what have you noticed besides that that's
Oh,
really kept you with us?
okay. So nutrition is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Because most of us grew up on some sort of a diet culture. I mean, my grandma was always in diet club, but I have no idea what they did because I never saw any changes, right? But she was my grandma, so it was okay. The thing is, when we don't feed ourselves the right way, and I'm guilty of this, right? There are days that I fall apart. I don't get to where I need to be with the right amount of protein, my balance with my carbs, my fat. But if I plan ahead, if I know that I don't have to deny myself the protein and that it's okay to have a little carb with it, and you feel so much better. You feel like it's achievable versus taking something away from yourself. And so many people being active on the farm, we just we have some pretty erratic schedules, but when you make sure that you've got a little bit of food, whether it's in the house, in your vehicles. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I carry a small Walgreens with me at all times, and that includes, like, some of our power bars and so forth. That makes a difference that I can then accomplish my goal because I did a little bit of pre-planning, and it's not a lot.
Yeah, well, nutrition, you hit it right in the head. Like nutrition, everybody forgets about that component when they especially start to move their body more. They forget, like, hey, you have to feel your body to see
Yeah.
results as well. And so when you look at a fitness program, if it doesn't contain a workout like physical health, and if it doesn't contain that nutrition component, but also tying into that is the mental side of things, where we really focus on all three of those. Like you're not just getting a physical training program, you're not just getting a nutritional training program. We're also incorporating mental health. And how we do that is through like habit training and really teaching you guys the science behind what you're creating. And I know you flourish, like you even talk about it. Like you could probably be a trainer. Like let's just Bridget, like you're already on top of it. But like for you, you're always on the road. You're
Mhm.
so go. Is there any like advice or anything that you want to cover with people more about like what we do or how we're different from anything you've ever done before
Well,
that really stuck out for you?
it's like a three-legged stool, right? So we have the physical workouts, we have the nutrition, but we also know what it does for our mental health and how it reduces our stress levels. And I get it. Some days I am running out of hours, and the stressful part is I got to get my workout in, but I feel better after I do that. And that's an emphasis for all of us. It's things that we can do throughout the day. Not gonna lie, there have been days where I have literally been doing like my lunges while I'm cooking supper. But that's the freedom and flexibility of what we do. We don't have to go to a gym. We don't have to have any specialized equipment. You can use things that you have. And that's probably the biggest emphasis I want people to understand is the flexibility of what we can do because that's how our lives are built different every day.
The growth mindset, 100%. Like
Yeah.
well, you get to work out. It shouldn't be viewed as a punishment. Should be viewed as like a celebration of what our bodies can do.
Yes.
And you definitely have. I mean, I love the fact that you just brought up the barbell. Well, my last question for you, Bridget, first and foremost, again, I thank you for being on this with me. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Is like, how has FarmFit training that you've noticed impacted your day to day, especially on the farm,
Mhm.
or even when it comes to cooking meals for your family, you and your husband? Like, how has FarmFit training since you've joined the tribe impacted that?
Well, it's easier for us to balance what we eat on a daily basis and fuel ourselves, not starve ourselves. So we're fueling ourselves for a better day and not starving for a diet. But more than anything, I mentioned my grandma earlier. She was always in diet club, never got better. So I have a photo and I use it all the time. This is my grandma holding my aunt, my great grandma, and my great great grandma. Nobody in this photo is over 5'5". They're all about as tall as they are wide. And I didn't want to be that person. I decided that I would much rather grow up and become a mature adult and be healthy. And that's one of the things that FarmFit's going to bring to so many of us is keeping us healthy longer term.
And that was part of your why statement. I remember when we did
Hmm.
that
Yep.
exercise, you
Yeah,
included that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
So
use them all the time.
yeah, it doesn't matter where you come from. You have the choice to change your future and impact future generations underneath that. So I love that. Well, thank you for joining again. So I would love for people to get to know you. And if they want to reach out to Bridgette directly, you have personal pages. And then if you also want to share your business
Hmm.
pages, you
Sure.
should guys should all check out W Day. It's weather 970, right?
So
Is that right?
every day I have a radio show on WDAY 970 AM. You can find us there. We live stream. Also, I am the owner of Lilac Lane Media. You can follow me there at lilac.lane.media.com. And I do public speaking events and agronomy work all over the place. And additionally, I'm a business partner in the Ag Mafia. And the Ag Mafia, you can find us at Agronomy on Ice. That's our event we host every February. I'm on Twitter or X at BM Readel, and everywhere else you can find me by my name, Bridgette Readel, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat.
Guys, go check her out. You'll want to follow her, ask her questions. But before we leave, I want to
Mm-hmm.
highlight one thing. You also traveling for speaking events, and this is something really cool. So since joining FarmFit Training, you have gone and got certified as a mental health
First aid
counselor,
responder. Yep.
and now you travel and speak about mental health as well. I would love for you to talk a little bit about that because I think it's the coolest thing.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
like
Would
you
would
travel
people?
all over. You talked about the Cattlemen's Club,
I
right?
well, I do. I do some work on behalf of the National Cattlemen's Association, but
Yeah.
also most organizations, when they ask you to speak, I think we should all have that one defining moment in our talks. Whether I'm visiting about controlling kosher or water hemp, I always make sure to touch on mental health for farms, and it's not just about using that term. It's about making sure that people see real life examples, and then I always hand out a resource to them, how to go find the help that they need, whether it's for 988 with the suicide hotline, whether it's for the agri-stress hotline, whether it is all the other resources that are out there. Here's something tangible you can put into your phone. So when you are in a situation where yourself or someone around you needs help, you have it right there. You don't have to search for it.
Absolutely. You know, mental health is a huge crisis in our community, especially in agriculture. And so, I mean, with ag, mental health, especially, it's not a one size fit all. You know, like
Yeah.
there's so many other resources out there. And again, Bridgette is a phenomenal speaker about talking about mental health. She's done a lot of speaking. So if you guys are ever interested in her as a speaker, we'll also post your email address,
Sure.
whatever you want to put on that. But she talks a lot about mental health. She even ties it sometimes to FarmFit Training,
Yes.
with her own experience tapping into her physical transformation as well. But at the end of the day, mental health is not a one size fits all. There's so many great avenues. The biggest thing is just like fitness, you got to take that first step.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
thanks again, Bridgette. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to check her out, like I said, read the comments. Other than that, I appreciate you joining me. I'm glad we got this figured out. And other than that, we'll catch you guys later.